Hey guys, welcome to Actor Talks. I'm Ayana Taylor, and today I am interviewing Elizabeth Foster Davis.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, I'm so glad you're on my channel, Elizabeth.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's going to be a great interview. So I know Elizabeth from Playhouse West. We actually trained together. We're both in intermediate right now, and I wanted to share that we are working on a scene right now from the play Dolores.
It's a great scene.
It's a great scene. It's a great play. It's so filling, really moving in terms of emotion and challenging. But what would you say is, I guess, some takeaways that you're getting from Playhouse West or Dolores or just your training right now?
I would say as far as my training goes and entering the intermediate at Playhouse West, I feel like my acting has changed completely.
Okay.
Before, I feel like what I would do a scene, it was kind of lines on a page and just learning what we're learning now. I'm learning you learn the lines so well so you can forget the lines and just let your creativity flow through you. And I feel like as an artist, that's where like true acting happens from our instincts and once
our
we
impulses.
can once we can kind of like forget about all the stuff that we need to say, we just shine. Like our talent really shines through, and that's, I feel like that freedom that I looked for in acting, I have finally found it. And that's the reason I've wanted to become an actor. I just didn't know why until I felt that, and I'm like, yes. This is what I was looking for.
Yeah, this type of liberation of this free flowing, like just working off and not worried about how to say it or what you're gonna say, just allowing it to be pinched off of you. That's really been the highlight here at Playhouse West.
Exactly.
Just learning, putting all the work in, put all the history, making that real for you, and then just letting it go.
Yeah, and just forgetting about it and living it out.
I love it. So as you can tell, we're Playhouse diehards, so don't mind us. But are you ready for the interview?
I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm excited.
Yes. So my first question I have for you, Elizabeth, tell us, where are you from and how did you end up in Los Angeles?
All right. Well, I am from Lenexa, Kansas, which is like the suburbs of Kansas City.
Okay.
And that's where I grew up. And I moved out here when I was 22, 10 days after I graduated from college. Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Hey,
and moved out here to pursue acting. And now I've been out here 13 years and haven't looked back.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So 13 years. Tell us, in a nutshell, what has this career been like for you? How has it evolved over the 13 years living specifically in Los Angeles, this market, and how's it been for you?
I feel like the most challenging thing, I feel like, when you're not from here and you move out here to pursue your dream is that we can't just pursue our dream, right? We have to work another job or do another career to support the dream that we actually want to do. And I feel like that's the grind of it, is trying to find that balance with like, I have to work in this field to pay my mortgage, to pay my bills, but I really want to do this, and do I have the energy to do it? So I have found myself in acting, out of acting, in acting, out of acting, just because of different experiences where life has taken me.
Absolutely.
In some seasons of my life, I've been able to pursue it, and then in other seasons, I haven't been able to. So it's been a journey.
Yeah,
it's a journey.
I love that. And so tell us, kind of shed some light on that. You said 13 years, maybe on and maybe off some. Tell us, what were some of the jobs that you were doing over this course? Are you still doing work? Like, what? Tell us that arc. What pursuits that you're doing.
I worked in the entertainment industry when I first moved out here, which was great. And then I worked in insurance for 5 years.
Okay.
So I did that, and I was actively trying to find another passion other than acting.
Really? Why is that?
Yeah, I think just because it would make life easier, right?
Yeah.
It would just, if I could find a passion in something that like paid the bills at a steady,
has some
security.
security.
I tried different things, but everything always came back to acting.
Yeah.
So I worked in insurance, came back to acting. And then I started personal training, which is what I'm still doing now. And I do love training my clients and my people. I have a passion for that.
Okay.
But still, even though I love that, it always comes back to acting. Yeah.
You just can't get rid of it. It's just like a bug that just keeps nagging at you like, hey, notice me.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Despite all the pursuits and careers you're trying to, go for or try to be happier, you're not your most happiest when you're not acting. So that's beautiful.
Exactly. And then, on top of all of that, having 2 kids, that's a job in itself. And I still, even though those are great passions too, acting is calling me.
Absolutely. And that kind of is one of the questions I also had in terms of, a struggle that you're going through. Would you say, trying to have that work life and then also family life balance, trying to make sure you're taking care of everything while still trying to pursue acting? Has that been difficult for you?
It is a challenge. I'm probably the busiest I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
Trying to juggle it all.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the hardest things is just to pursue a passion and have a family. There are sacrifices you have to make.
Absolutely.
There are some nights I don't get to put my kids to bed. But I try to make up for it in the times that I'm around and really be 100% present with them when I'm with them, and then when I'm out there in class, when I'm rehearsing, doing different things, like I'm 100% in that. But it is hard just because you feel guilty, and I want to be in 2 places at once.
But we were talking about this before we got on air, and you were sharing how you wanted to lead by example. Like, pursuing acting is your dream. It's something that you love to do. And so what better way to show your kids, like, hey, like, I'm pursuing my dreams, and they get to see you walk in that journey and see mom doing that. If anything, it's inspiration for them as well.
Yes, and that's one of the reasons I actually, got back into acting. I had been called back to it for a while, but I got back into it full throttle when I was like 5 months pregnant with my second baby.
Okay.
And so I started doing it because I find this passion. It won't leave me, so I can't run from it anymore. So I got to do it. But I also want to be a great example for my kids, because if I'm telling them as they grow up, like, you're capable of anything, you can do anything, you can be anything you want to be, and you can do that. Like, I want to be that example for them. Like,
I look to my mom. My mom was able
like,
to
if
do
mommy's pursuing something that is hard and challenging, but she's doing it anyway, I can too. And so
that's amazing.
I'm trying to show them what it's like to follow your dreams and to do what you love, and that you can do it, even the hardest dreams.
I love that. And it's funny, I remember, like, when I first got to play Housewives, I think we were both in beginner, and I remember seeing Elizabeth for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, she's pregnant. I don't know why. It really, like, surprised me, like, seeing a pregnant lady in our training beginner class, and I was just like, oh my God. But it was so cool. It was just like, it was amazing, despite like, getting ready to bring life into the world. Like, you're still all the way up until, like, you could hold, go to class. You were training. You were out there.
And
I was so impressive.
And I was committed.
Absolutely. I love that. So let's go. We're gonna kind of do a little backpedal a little bit, because we jumped on the questions, but I wanted to emphasize on the struggle that we were talking about that earlier, the struggle and trying to do the work-life balance with the family. But tell us, what was that one thing that inspired you, that ignited that fire to begin acting and pursuing it on a level that's like, okay, this is my career, versus it being like a hobby or just something that you do passively?
I think that going back, I remember when I was 5, I would watch TV or watch movies with my parents, and for some reason I wanted to be on the screen. I You know, I just always wanted to do it. And I used to ask my parents, like, can we move to California? And they would be like, no, there's earthquakes out there.
Oh my gosh.
Hilarious. So it's just something I've always wanted to do.
Wow.
And to be honest, when I was younger, it is the most important dream I think I've ever had for myself. So because of that, it's the hardest one to pursue because failing at other things, I can find something else I love, but failing at this would be a huge deal because this is something that I've wanted to do my entire life.
Wow. No pressure.
Right, exactly. So I think because of that, though, that leads me into like, there was a confidence struggle with feeling that before I could pursue it, I needed to be perfect. You know, need to be perfect in my skill set.
That's exactly the total opposite. I mean, and I love that the school, you know, at Playhouse was just like, bring all that you are to it. It's not about being perfect. If anything, being broken is like the best part of it because you have life in you. You have something you can relate to pull from. You know, you've experienced it.
Exactly. So absolutely. And like to not worry about the result so much. Just be present.
Woo, girl, yes.
Yeah.
The result. You said result and that like hit me. That like triggered me. It was like, oh, you know, a little twist. Like, results, you know, you can't be fighting for the result because... You know, either you're just trying to check off boxes, and then is it really validating to you because you want to do it, or you're just doing it because this deems me as successful because I've done it. No, do it because you love it. You know,
exactly. So it's just something that I've always wanted to do, and I wouldn't say that I had like one like inspirational person. It's just something that's always been in me,
within you,
as like something I've wanted to do my entire life.
I love that. I love, and I wish. And that's the thing too, because I remember growing up and I was like, man. Like there was this guy. He was a filmmaker, and he would always have his films, and he would have like viewing parties, and we'd go to this church, and it'd be on the big projector, and you know you would see it, and I was just like, oh man, I wish I was up there. Like, oh, that was so cool. Like, oh man, I wish I was saying those words. It was just like you had those moments, but I never had the distinction. It never like triggered for me like, I want to be on there and be the actor. It was always like, oh, I love, what is she doing? Like, what is that character? I want to do, you know, it was never like the sole acting thing. So it's cool that you knew that right off the bat.
I think like I even just had this like intuition, like something inside of me that was just like instinctively of like, this is what you need to be doing. I still don't know what that's going to look like. But now I'm confident enough to trust the process and just go for the ride and see what happens.
Ride it, girl. Giddy up. Awesome. Well, my last question I have for you, Elizabeth, tell us, what's a piece of advice that you can share with other actors, other people who are pursuing their dreams, just to encourage them along the way as they continue this path?
I would say probably like the one piece of advice is like, if you do want to pursue acting as your career and you have something inside of you, trust it. Trust your instincts, trust your gut, and go for it because this journey can go by fast. And if I think back to like, if I would have kept with it all those 13 years, I wonder sometimes like where I would be right now. If I would have just trusted my gut and trusted my instincts instead of like letting outside things like affect what I should be doing job wise. So I'd say if you feel that, like trust it, go with it, keep putting one foot in front of the other and just don't question it.
Absolutely. And then just another step, just to add to everything you just said, I went to the Playhouse West Film Festival last year. And there was a star there she's doing such a phenomenal job, but she said you want to become obsessed with it, and you know if it's something you truly want to do, become obsessed with it. Have you ever found you know people who are like obsessively like someone like they liked you and they're a little obsessed, a little creepy, just like oh okay that's a little weird, but they're obsessed with you because of what you bring or whatever the case may be. So whatever passion it is, if it's acting, if it's filmmaking, if it's writing, if it's, skydiving, whatever you want to do, become obsessed with it. Find the, the specificity within it. Find the joys, the small things and the big things. Become obsessed with it. And once you, like I said, once you know it, you know it, go for it. Take one step at a time and just get specific, get obsessed, because at the end of the day, it's this is your life and you're pursuing your career, and time goes by.
Totally.
It really does fly. Like, it's been a year and a half, and I can't believe it. I'm like, I've been in Los Angeles this long. It's just like,
it goes by fast.
Yeah.
You know, and I have one last thing I think I would like to add.
Yeah.
You know, my husband actually said this to me when I was like pursuing acting, and I was talking about like working in and putting in all this work towards acting. And he said, like, if you're going to be working at something, you might as well be putting in the work at something you're passionate about.
Woo! Say that again. Say that again for everybody, just to make sure they heard that, because
if you're going to be working in some in any field, right? You might as well be putting work and energy towards something that you're passionate about.
Right. Oh my God.
If I would have told my brain this and myself this 13 years ago, like it.
Woo, game changer.
That's a game changer. Yes.
That kind of reminds me of something. I don't know if it was Jim Carrey or somebody said it, but it was just like, it was kind of the same concept, but it was like a different situation. But it's just like, you know, don't worry about, you know, basically the concept was be yourself. You know, don't be someone you're not. I mean, if people are gonna not like you, people are gonna not think you're interesting or whatever, but I'd rather them not like me because of who I actually am than me trying to be someone that I'm not. So by the same token, it's just like, be true to you, be true to what you love to do, and pursue it with all the passion that you have, because if that's at the forefront, and you're, regardless of your success or your failures, you're doing what you love. And at the end of the day, it really is about the journey instead of the result and the end goal. Because, like I said, I mean, us pursuing acting, there's no guarantee that we're gonna be on the, you know, the Walk of Fame or like, you know, blockbuster movies. There's no guarantee for that. But we love to do what we do. And we go to class, we train 3 days a week, 3 hours, and then rehearse like crazy. We do it because we love it.
Right.
And when you know the difference and you're doing it for self-fulfillment, then it's not about the goals. It's not about the check. I mean, all that to me, in my opinion, is a byproduct. Like, someone's appreciating my work, appreciating the effort that I put in because I love something. All that is the after effect of the love that you do. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, Elizabeth, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on. Oh my gosh. So, Elizabeth, where can we stay in touch with you if we want to keep following you and see all the stuff that you're going to be doing in the future?
Oh, well, I guess you can.
Social media?
Yeah, social media. You can find me at Foster Davis Fitness.
Fitness.
Yeah, or you can look me up on Facebook on Elizabeth Foster Davis.
Yes,
so,
awesome.
Easy.
Yeah, well, thank you again for being on this channel. Guys, if you enjoyed this interview and you thought it was helpful, make sure you like it, make sure you share it with someone, and then also subscribe. Help me out. Let's get those numbers up, you know. And stay tuned. I plan on doing a lot more content with, you know, other actors in terms of interviews as well, but also I want to start making content. So you might see this little lady again. She might be in one of my films and stuff that I'm doing. So stay tuned, subscribe so you can see all the great stuff that's coming. So until next time, we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.